This is a Wahoo Fitness wireless speed and cadence sensor. You can see in the packaging here. Pop it out and see what you get in the box. And the actual sensor itself. Just very basic instructions. That's why we have this video for you. Wire ties, spoke magnet, crank magnet, and a rubber adapter for the speed sensor. So this wire is pliable and basically allows you to set the wheel magnet for the wheel and the cadence sensor for the cranks. Can be, the distance can be adjusted, the position can be adjusted. Can tuck the cadence sensor in just behind your crank, your bottom bracket, for to get a good aerodynamic position. I'll show you how to install it now. Hey, Chip here with Wahoo Fitness. Just want to demonstrate installing a Wahoo Fitness speed and cadence sensor today. Got the speed and cadence sensor here, got the handy bike, zip ties, spoke magnet, and cadence magnets. Okay, got the Wahoo speed and cadence sensor here. The idea is we need to get the speed sensor attached to the rear derailleur area. Not the rear derailleur. Got a Wahoo Fitness speed and cadence sensor here. We're going to mount it on the chainstay opposite the chain on the non-drive side in such a way that we can angle it to have the spoke magnet pick up the internal sensor. We also have a cadence sensor here that's attached by a wire, so we can mount it behind the crank along with the crank magnet. So let's start by inserting our zip ties. Go ahead and put 2 zip ties in our speed pickup, and I'm going to mount it loosely so we can figure out just exactly where we want it in a minute. Dropped. Little rubber hole. Pop the rubber holder underneath. Okay, let's just tension it up just ever so slightly so it stays in place. Now, you've got a lot of flexibility on exactly where you place this, but anywhere that gets a good contact with the spoke is fine. So that looks pretty good. Now I typically run the cadence sensor around the back and then tuck it as close behind the bottom bracket as I can, so wind coming through here doesn't actually even get to your cadence sensor. So let's place 2 more zip ties on our cadence sensor. Again, leaving those loose. Apologize, I am not a bike mechanic. If you buy this at a shop, they will do a much better job. Okay, so there we are, tucked behind the bottom bracket. I've got a good amount of play. The magnet actually needs to come right on the forward side of that cadence pickup to get the best signal. So I'm going to move this around to the bottom so it's less visible when we snip it off. Okay, now we have our Cadence magnet. There's a couple of things you can do with the Cadence magnet. It has a spot to put a zip tie. Quick and dirty way to install it is with a zip tie, but it's not very attractive. I don't know if you notice here, but this is a SRAM cork power meter that has a built-in cadence sensor, so I use that for my cadence, so I won't actually permanently mount this. But so there's the quick and dirty way. If I didn't have the power meter on my bike, what I usually do is take a little bit of masking tape and a little bit of epoxy, place a little bit of epoxy glue on the back, hold it in place with masking tape for 5 or 10 minutes, depending on what type of glue you use, until it dries, and then you can have it permanently mounted on the back of your crank arm. Here's a wheel magnet. You simply unspin it, pop it over your spoke. It'll fit round spokes, bladed spokes, and it threads down tight. You want to line it up. There's a line on the back edge of your Wahoo sensor, speed sensor. You'll be able to see it. That is where you want to line up your wheel magnet, so that it's good and tight. It's not going anywhere. Usually get between 1/8 and 1/4 of an inch of play. Make sure you pick a spoke that's facing the non-drive side. If you pick this spoke, you're going to ram into it when you come around. So I'm going to pull these a little tighter, twist them around behind so they're not so visible. So now if you have your iPhone and your sensor case or your sensor key or Garmin, whatever, waving this magnet in front of the sensor will actually wake it up, so you should be able to connect to it at this point. You want to trim off the excess zip tie. Again, stuff them up out of the way. There we go. And then my Cadence magnet is again about 1/8 of an inch. You can rotate the sensor down if there's not enough clearance. My clearance is actually just perfect. You just place it right on the front. Again, I'm going to go ahead and pull those tight. If you don't want the Cadence magnet, it doesn't hurt a thing to go ahead and just mount this without the magnet. It won't pick up a cadence, but your power meter can do that for you if you have one. Power taps will actually pick it up in the wheel as well. Sometimes at real low speeds, cadence sensor's handy with those, but the crank-based power meters give you a perfect cadence. So go ahead and tighten this down just a bit. And there you have it. Again, you can do away with the zip tie with a little bit of glue. That gives you speed and cadence. I'll give it a test with my computer. The easiest way to test your new install is if you're using this with the iPhone and our Physica sensor key or case. It's a Physica utility. It kind of removes all other variables. So one thing to keep in mind, we have speed and cadence, speed only and cadence only. Those are profiles designed by Ant Plus. Ours is a speed and cadence sensor, so you want to make sure you pick speed and cadence and then hit connect. And again, you need to spin the wheel to wake up the sensor. And here you can see speed is being picked up because I'm wiping the magnet in front of it. If you got the sensor too far away, you see you won't pick up speed. So that's the most common. And again, if it's too far away, it won't even wake up. So make sure the line here is aligned with the back of the magnet, and you get it as close as you can practically. About 1/8 of an inch is good. And then you'll pick up speed as you go by. Same is true with our cadence. You can see as the cadence magnet spins by, it picks it up. If it doesn't, just move things around until it does. And there you have it.